Hey everybody, and welcome to this week's episode of NuStrength Sugar Babes. And we've got a very special sugar babe on the show today. It is Keri Lee. So Keri Lee is Lynn's wife. I was about to say Lynn's fiance, but they got married. And Lynn, well, probably for those of you who have followed my page, you would have seen me do a similar thing with him just recently. So Keri came into our program. How long's it been now? It's been over 12 weeks. Hey, like it would be
way over
20 weeks. Yeah, it might be 20 weeks, maybe 20 weeks. We went down and we met them we were doing all the stuff with Legacy, and we started to talk to her about milk and liver and periods and all this other stuff. And she jumped on board, and she's gone through an amazing journey. I think that so many women that come to our program do. So, we look at menstrual cycles and energy and sleep and digestion and mood and building a body that they love. But I'll let Keri explain to you why she was attracted to the program, what the issues, I guess, you were experiencing prior to joining the Win at Life program.
Yeah, sure. So before meeting Kitty, I was a vegan for 2 years. And the reasons why I was vegan wasn't so much for the dietary purposes or anything like that. It was more for the ethical reasons. And so I had a very strong identity to not eating meat. But what that also meant was for 2 years that I didn't have my period. And at the back of my mind, I was doing all these great things for the world, but also at the back of my mind, it was killing me that I wasn't able to have babies. I didn't feel normal. I didn't have the confidence of a woman. And it's only when you lose your period that you truly don't feel like a full female. It's an emotional roller coaster that I went through with myself and internally, because I thought I was doing all the right things, but my body was telling me the complete opposite. And it was only when I got a full blood work done that my hormones were out of whack. I had high cholesterol being a vegan. I wasn't digesting any of the nutrients that I was having, eating all plants. And it was all these things that basically I was like, oh, I'm so awesome. But then my body was like, no, you're not. You're freaking crap, actually. And, the only thing that you're doing right is probably crapping every day. But it's not even, crapping the right things. And so I think I went, when I met Kitty to start with, I was always skeptical with any diets or anyone who claimed that they had a methodology of the way that they approached nutrition. And it was only when I went through a breaking point that I approached Kitty. She did not need to sell me. I approached Kitty because I was just so desperate for an answer, because not feeling like a woman, having digestive issues, binge eating myself from vegan to Macca's. Like, I just didn't know what I was doing with my body anymore, and I needed help. That was my breaking point, and I came to you for that. I love everything that the program is about, can I just say. For a while, I was struggling. A lot of the struggles actually benefited me in the end, because I realized that there was more than just eating that I needed to do for my body. And the big thing for me, it was stress. And all the nutritional stuff that I learned, I just trusted the process. And the training, I trusted that I needed to stop training and stop stressing and just allow my body to be. And it was then that everything just came into place. And after 2 years, I got my period back.
I remember the message.
Thank you so much. Oh my God. Can you believe, I can't even believe that someone can be that happy to get their period, but I'm just so grateful. I actually cannot thank you enough. Like, I owe you, I owe you my babies in the future.
Yeah. You did all the work. You did all the work, and it's so awesome. And I knew it would come. It just takes time. Like, I remember when I didn't have my period for 6 months. You know, I didn't do vegan, but did, you know, excessive training. And you were too. You were training like 5-6 days a week. I remember you were binge eating. Talk about too, like, I feel like you've had a massive shift in terms of the love for your body, because I've always thought you look great. Like, even when I first met you, but I feel like, you know, because I remember you posting some photos in the Facebook page and writing about it, I feel like your mindset around your own body has really shifted. It's sort of like now you see your body like other people see your body, because I think you look awesome.
When I was vegan, it was the leanest point of my life as well. And the only way that I can describe it was, when you are that lean, there is something that your mind can still tell you that you're still not good enough. And without actually looking back at those photos, I remember thinking to myself, I still need to get leaner, and I need to get stronger, leaner, toner, and all the ways that an Instagram body needs to look like. When that all fell apart and I couldn't be vegan anymore, I just thought, I'm a failure. I started eating not the greatest foods. I don't really even know what I was eating, because most of the times it was mindless and I was binging. So I was in a cycle of restricting, then binging, restricting, then binging. And mentally, I was fat. Physically, I was still looking, I guess my body was fighting for it to be just imbalanced. And I was hating myself. And I think coming onto the program, you gave me permission to eat, and you gave me permission to love my body for what it is, and for me to understand that everything isn't going to be an overnight success, and it's going to take time. And for that, the question I asked myself was, okay, well, if my body never changes from what it is now, can I still love myself? And the answer is yes, of course, because my body is an extension and an expression of who I am. And if it's not expressing love, then I'm not going to be loving anything outside of myself. And it's true, because food was consuming my life, and I failed to really be productive at work. I failed to really win at life, and I failed to, you know, enjoy time off, because all of that I could think about was food.
Yeah.
And all that love now is all encompassing, because it's not just my body, it's my life. It's the fact that I don't think about food, and I'm eating the food that I love and that I enjoy. And yeah, like, it's my love for my body isn't trying to be Instagram, you know, posing, and my love for my body is that it's ever changing, and that it will heal itself as well. My body is my healer. So,
and you talk about how quickly, because I know, like, so many women that come into our program, and I was the same, like, ridiculous binge eater, ridiculous. So talk about how quickly your binge eating stopped.
Overnight.
Yeah.
I remember having the conversation with you about a week into the program, and I said, Kitty, I've stopped binge eating, and I don't understand how that happened, because it was a part of my life where from 8 p.m. to 10 p.m. I had no idea what I was putting into my body. All that I knew was I would be rummaging the cupboards, and I could do nothing else but think about food and just eat. And as soon as I came onto the program and read about the right things that I needed to eat to begin my day, it just immediately stopped, and my body didn't need to binge. At night, like, I was satiated and I was satisfied, and I can enjoy my off time with my husband, that before he would just kind of, he would know not to bother me, because if he said anything, I would eat more. Like, if he said, okay, honey, I think you've eaten enough, I'd be like, well, F you, I'm going to eat more. How dare you say that to me? I will prove you wrong. I can eat more. So, yeah, how crazy is that? It can.
Yeah. It's so freeing. Hey, do you feel free? I feel so free now.
Yes, I feel so free.
Yeah.
Like, it's ridiculous, because if I can tell any girl how to stop binge eating, it's to come onto your program, because it's not supposed to consume us, and we're not supposed to be restricted in what we eat. And food isn't supposed to be the enemy. Whereas everything beforehand, food was the enemy, because it was about how little can I eat until I binge. And then I restrict because of that.
Oh, yeah, totally. And do you feel like now, because I think, you know, I was talking to a client, I can't remember who I was talking to, but, you know, like, really believe in educating, like we let everyone, you know, like, we don't tell you guys what to eat. We give you guidelines, we give you ways to measure, you know, and we give you the like, do you feel like you're in control now, and you have the education around food and what your body needs so that you can get the result that you want?
And you know what, I think that was the one part that I loved about the program, and it's, you don't tell us what to eat. We're in control of our own bodies. And the fact is, nobody can tell you what to eat. And there are so many diets out in the world that go, eat, you know, this serving of veggies, and then eat this serving of fats and carbs and blah, blah, blah. And in fact, it's what works for your body. And I know that there are women in the program that, you know, dairy isn't working, and when it does work, we'll know when it works. And digestion isn't going to fix itself overnight. So we know what foods, and we're testing what foods that works for our bodies right now, and then reintroducing other foods that, when our digestion does heal, it'll work better. And it's a cool experiment to have with my own body. It's a cool experiment, and it's an experience, because it's not just, hey, eat this and you're set for life. It's, hey, eat this, and then, hey, see how your body feels, you know, in the future by introducing other sorts of foods. And yeah, it's a really cool journey, because sometimes you fail, but then you realize, hey, like, now I know. At least I know. Not just, hey, it's not working, and then it's not working, and then you're not telling us, keep doing it. You know, and that's that personal touch as well to the program, that it's really, you are your own body.
And how would you say that this program is different to anything else in the industry? Because obviously, I mean, you're married to Lynn Trin. I mean, Lynn Trin was a PT himself for a long time. You know, you guys work with a number of different coaches. You're in an industry full of programs. So your whole time that you've been in it, you've never done anyone else's program except for ours. So how would you say, and look, I'm not saying that there's no other good programs out there, because there's some amazing coaches in our group with you, but obviously everyone serves different niches in different markets, and ours is specific to women. How would you say it's different to everything else that you've seen?
Yeah, and you're right. I've had exposure to thousands of programs, and not once have I ever done any of them. Even the ones where I, you know, at the time I maybe wanted to get bikini bodies or things like that, I didn't do those programs. And in all honesty, I think it's you, Kitty. And what I mean by that is you practice what you preach. And in every other program, there's always a question at the back of my mind, which is, does the leader do anything different? Like, are you doing anything different to what you're suggesting I should do? And for this program, it's no. You're completely transparent and you absolutely practice everything you preach in the program, and it's not a cookie cutter. And it's not something that you tell every other girl to do and you're not doing it yourself. And that spreads from the nutrition, the training, absolutely the mindset. You lead the way, and you lead the way of failure as well, and you're not posing yourself as the perfect leader at all. And I think that's what's the most attractive, and what makes this program so unique.
Well, who wouldn't want to eat ice cream every night? I mean, like,
exactly.
I get to drink like juice every day.
It's amazing.
I eat all this delicious food that I love.
I remember I one time came to you with a problem, and you're like, well, that's easy. You just need to eat more and have ice cream at night. And I was like, it's a great solution to my problem. I'm like, oh my God, who wouldn't want that?
And like you're consistently eating more food and you haven't got any fatter.
No.
Like, you look the same.
Yeah.
And we dialed your training right back, because obviously you needed to heal first. And now that your periods come back, you're feeling good, your digestion's good, you're going to get back into training. Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah. Patience is the key, and just trusting the system.
Totally. And I think that's like where most women go wrong. It's like you've got to have that. Like I've just learned, and we were talking about Gary Vee before, like it's just patience. It's finding, and so, you know, like the thing is too, is that things will change, you know, like your body will change. And even though the overall fundamental principles will stay the same, like my diet's changed and adapted and things have changed, you know, like it's not always going to be exactly the same. So I think it's about understanding, you know, what is ultimately how I want to feel. And it's that balance between how you look and how you feel. Because like we said, like we've all been super lean, and I've been super lean eating this way, and I felt fucked, you know, like I didn't sleep through the night. So it's obviously, it's a certain level of body fat. And like, I'm not saying that that's wrong or right. It's just like, here's our approach. If you want to come with me and do this, then come with me, you know. But I think that it's about understanding what your symptoms mean and then going, how can I fix that? Like for you weren't sleeping through the night. So I'm like, all right, well, let's look at your overall calories. Are you having your before bed meal? You know, like then there was the issue with your skin, but we had changed your, you know, milk consumption, but also you weren't eating liver at that stage, you know, like it's really a lot of nutrient dense food, I think. Like it's not as though you're eating just good, like what your grandparents used to eat. Really? That's all it is when you think about it. It's people like, oh, Kitty does this crazy diet where they eat sugar. And I'm like, oh, no, we don't. We just eat the whole animal. We eat fruit. We drink juice. My grandma used to like she'd make us fresh eggs on homemade bread she'd squeeze the oranges and she'd drain the pulp. Like that's like what we used to eat 30 years ago when I was like 7. So that's all it is really. And so like because some of the most common objections that we get coming into the program, I think you nailed it on the head, and this is probably more appropriate for women who are in the program now, is that you've done what you've done for like for you, it had been 2 years. So it's unrealistic to think that you can undo that in 12 weeks. Like I say to most women, it's 12 to 18 months. Like I'm not asking you to do anything I haven't done myself. Like, you know, and I think, what would you say to a woman who's like in that headspace of, oh God, I just need to fix it now. I need to, like, how did you move past that and go, I've got to be in this for the long game?
Yeah. And I think for me, it's been the hardest because losing your period for 2 years, and what you were saying, it's not overnight. I want it to be overnight because I really needed the fix. I wanted a miracle to happen, to even everything outside of taking a pill to make me get my period. I just wanted the solution, and I wanted it to come every single morning. Like, there were weeks where I was completely on point with nutrition. Nothing was happening with my body, but I would wake up just like it was Christmas morning, maybe today, And the truth is, like, Kitty, you're right, because I did that to my body for 2 years, and I was stubborn enough to keep doing it for 2 years. That how can I expect a change to happen overnight? And the real change happened for me when I really asked myself, you know, I'm going to be living with my body for the rest of my life, and I know that what I'm doing right now, even though I'm not getting my period, I know what I'm doing right now is healthy and it's loving to my body. And am I happy doing that? And I am happy. And it was only when I genuinely and truthfully said to myself, like, I am happy, that's when it came. I know it sounds really strange, but energetically I felt different, and I just felt calmer and just going, I know I'm being healthy, and I know with certainty, not by someone else telling me that, you know, you're okay or you're doing the right thing. I knew that I was doing the right thing. And so by having that certainty in myself, I was just happy. And
keep going.
I think that's what changed, honestly, Kitty, because it's not going to happen overnight.
No, but you also too, like, you did everything we said. You know, I was like, I gave you specific things. Okay, you need to track your calcium and get it to this level. You need to eat liver. You need to eat 2,000 calories. You know, you need to dial your exercise back. You know, and you did everything. So, of course, it was going to work. Like, I always knew it would. It just would take time. But I reckon it's pretty amazing that in 16 weeks, or however long it's been, versus 2 years, like, it's actually not a long time when you put it in perspective. Like, I think that's what I always try to stress to women. It's like, well, you've done this, some of these women, for 10, 15 years. A year and a half or 12 months or a year and a half is actually not that long, you know? And I think you're right. Like, you really, like, love the process. Like, you know, I think that's what you've got to do. Love the process, love the food, love the learning, you know, enjoy the journey. Because it's like, if you're always going, I'll be happy when I get here, you'll never be happy. You'll never, ever be happy.
Yeah, you're so right. And can I add one more thing?
Of course.
The support and the environment in your program really lifts me up, because I know that everyone is along the same journey in their own way, their own struggles. And it's actually really reassuring that we're all lifting each other up, and we're all trying for ourselves, and we're not giving up on ourselves. And I think that really helps, because outside of the program, I was on my own, and no one knew I didn't have my period, and I didn't talk about it to anyone. My binging was in the darkness. You know, it wasn't in the open at all, and you provide that safe environment for me to just be truthful to myself and be truthful to others, and then for everyone to support me on my journey as well. So that was a key thing. And to see that it's working for women is really reassuring.
And I think too, it's like, you know, we've talked about this, is because I'm quite hard, like quite a masculine energy and quite forward, and some women are just a bit like, but I think, you know, it's like, if you can just learn to embrace the failure and love the pain and love the struggle, because it's that, if you can just do that, and because I think if you can teach yourself, if I just do this consistently day in, day out, I'll get a result regardless of how I feel now. It will happen. Because I think in business, like, you know, you're my coach on the other end of it, and I just listen to what you guys say, and I'm like, just implement this, like Lynn says, water the fucking tree every day and the lemons will come. And I take a lot of solace in that. just going back to your highest intent and knowing what you're doing is you're trying to help people. And I think, you know, if you go, like you said, if you know that you're doing good things to your body, that this is a long-term game, you're not going to see instant results. If you just accept that and take solace in that, then you'll be sweet, because it will happen. It always does. You just got to just love the failure, because it's the failure that makes you better and makes you stronger and more resilient. And, you know, and the thing is, tomorrow is always another day. Like, no matter how badly you fuck up, you can always just go to bed. Tomorrow is another fresh day and you start again. Like, you know, I think that's what we try and encourage in the program with the women. And just to never stop trying. Never give up. You'll always prevail, always. And like you say, some people are on a slower journey, and that's also okay. It's not a race, and everyone's bodies react differently. Like, I see some people in the page like, oh man, I've already like their body responds really quickly, but it's not like that for everyone, you know? So yeah, you are awesome. I love how open you are. And, you know, like when you first came in, you wrote those big long posts, and like I'm pretty open too. So I think that's what encourages, you know, like you guys know all about my sex life and nothing's off limits. So I think, you know, it's that good space where you can share things and, you know, be honest. Just be honest. Like,
and women need more of that in our lives.
Yeah.
Because there's too much in the world where we're dragging each other down.
Oh, totally.
We need to do the opposite.
Yeah.
And yeah.
Yeah. Oh, well, thanks so much. It was so awesome.
Keri, I actually cannot thank you enough, because you're absolutely right that after 2 years and then 16 weeks for me to heal, that is a miracle. That feels like, in the grand scheme of things, it feels overnight, because I genuinely, patience was the key, and I was genuinely willing to wait another year, another 2 years, however long it took, just knowing that I was doing the right thing for my body. And yeah, and it just came, so thank you.
Oh, you're so welcome. And Lynn was like, well, maybe there'll be little babies running around soon. I was like, well, better be careful. Better track that period.
Be careful what you wish for.
We don't take contraception in this program. I'm like, there's so many women in our gym who are pregnant, eh? Like, so just be careful. Just track that period, because you'll probably fall pregnant. That's what's going to happen. How cute, though. You guys have the cutest baby.
We'll see. It'll be a cute little accident. Be a little kitty accident.
Oh. Well, thank you so much, Keri. That was awesome. And if you're watching this and you're stuck, and yeah, just if you're stuck, like, click on the link below, put in an application to work with us. Myself, Craig, or April will get on a call to you. We'll see where you are, we'll see where you want to be, and then see whether our program can help you. And we don't ever try to hard sell anyone, because we just want to find women that are right for our program and that we can actually help. Because we'll go, if you put in the work, we'll go to the ends of the earth for you to get you a result. So yeah, that was awesome. Thank you so much, Keri. And I'll see you in Legacy. Bye. Bye.